Stanley Parable 6. Deadly boyfriends. I don't know. So, let's speedrun the game real quick. Speedrun the game.
All of his
like the whole game.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety is
First one here.
So
Hello.
he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music. Stanley calmly walked
What's up, Uncle G?
into the opened passageway.
You are? Thanks for joining the stream.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest.
Since you had 50 subs.
To question the nature of his job.
Oh, really?
Why
50 subs?
Now, when for years it had never
Oh,
occurred
thanks
to
for
him.
being that.
This question would not go unanswered for long.
Hold on real quick. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place.
427?
Freedom.
Where's 427? 427. Yeah, that's our office.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided...
Game. Pretty easy.
Blackness. and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Oh.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Bucket.
It's bucket time.
Trying to get through different endings of this game.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
You mean 6? It's Stanley Parable 6.
Isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting
Let's destroy our bucket
surely
first.
the game will sort of naturally spring up
Let's
around
destroy our
it.
bucket.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Buckets, it's been nice knowing you, but you have to be gone.
Wait, there are 2 buckets here. How did you get a second bucket? Oh no, the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling.
And
Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me? Stanley! Oh, thank God, I didn't lose you. Stanley, the power of 2 buckets was too much. I had to destroy both of them. I know how much the bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk. I hope one day you can forgive me.
nah. Alright, well, time to go. Time to go. Time to.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2.
Making fun of your own game is
artistic
crazy.
Statement, right? All right. have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready
Yes.
to move on now?
Yes. I would very like to.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different
Epilogue.
arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this.
Let me get my
Here we go.
seat.
Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they wouldn't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
This is my title.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I'm getting out of the map. I
Stanley
don't care
decided to
anymore.
go to the meeting room.
I'm getting out of the
Perhaps he
map.
simply missed a memo.
I'm getting out of the
No matter
map.
how hard Stanley looked,
Goodbye,
he couldn't find
cool
a
work.
trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and...
Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
Bucket.
simply missed a memo. It's bucket time.
Baba da ba doo. Yabba da baba. Oh my god. Hello, chat. Can y'all hear me? Hello, 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 hello. Am I good? Alright. Alright, let's go.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and
All
about
right.
how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable
2. I barely can hear myself. This game is so loud.
See, Isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel.
Wait, I got an idea. I got an idea for an ending. I got one.